Okay, I haven't posted a video in a while. We were on vacation for a bit and I thought I'd do an update. So my olive tree is doing phenomenal. It's struggled over the winter. I had aphids on it and scale. I was able to get rid of the aphids, but the scale I battled all winter. It is doing phenomenal right now. There's still a little, you can see a couple of the little scale on the leaves that I've had to spray, and I come out here and physically knock some of them off, but it's definitely doing a lot better. Yeah, she's got a few more on here I'm gonna have to take care of, but it's doing really good. Lots of green, lush leaves. My elephant ears are really just doing great this year. They're taller than I am, and the leaves are, the leaves are bigger than my torso. They're huge. I don't know what I got going on here. After being gone on vacation, I got some trimming to do. I have some random plants growing in here I need to thin out. My lemon's been struggling. It's got lots of fresh growth on it, but it's just never really done well. So it's good to see fresh growth on it. I kind of huddled all these plants around the maple tree and the cedar planters while we were on vacation. And everything seems to be doing okay. Needs a little TLC, but avocado's doing well. I just cut this one back. It had one limb that was 6 feet tall. I had to cut it back, so it's about, 4 foot now. But it's doing really well. His little brother, not so good. I am Jep. I had 3 of them. One died. This one's struggle bussing. I don't think it's going to make it through the winter. But I got one that's doing well. And I grew these from a seed from the grocery store. I think they're Hess avocados. Just some plants. I had some overage and I just threw them in a pot to see what was going to happen. My bonsai, I've got some spider nested up in here. These were seeds that were supposed to be hibiscus, and it's a pepper plant from the nursery. Thanks, guys. Here's another one, supposed to be hibiscus, pepper plant. You can tell by the leaves. Peppers. That's my wife's bonsai. It's doing well back here. Little jade plant. We got another bonsai here. She's doing well. This was apple. Sorry, I got my finger in front of the camera. Apple bougainvillea that we bought from a bonsai shop just south of Cincinnati. I can't remember the name of it right now. They have a ton of stock, beautiful facility, staff super friendly, highly recommend them. Hibiscus, got a couple yellow leaves on here. I have to trim these off. Crotons, I kept these over winter. I had 2 of them. Have some new growth. I see there's some leaf damage here, but I've got new growth also right next to it, so it's a learning journey because every one of these plants has different requirements for light and water. Hibiscus is blooming. I have a yellow and a red. Oh, I've got some broken branches here. Sherry and Mark had a bunch of plant damage from the storm the other day. I didn't even realize all this has been damaged. Actually, this looks more like electrician damage. I just had electricity ran in our gazebo. There's outlets up there. We're going to add TV and fan and lights in here. So they just finished that. That looks more like electrician damage. That's okay. My lime is doing really well. Lots of fresh growth on it. I see. Maybe that's just dirt from the electricians, but it's doing really well. Lots of fresh foliage. I've had that for 5 years now, and I get a ton of lemons on it. I don't have any blossoms right now, but that's doing really well. There's the other croton. It's got some new growth on there. And more aphids fighting these little white cottony aphids constantly. Been a battle all winter. I just squish them. Fox fern, I kept that over winter. That's doing well out here. Getting long. Pineapple from a grocery store. Pineapple, just cut the top off. It's doing well. This is second year. They grow slow. Some smaller elephant ears. There's a canna back here, and some I forget what color of lilies these were. My palms, I had these last year. I brought them in over the winter, and they did not do well. They struggled. I've got some kind of, I don't know what this is, weed filling up underneath, which is kind of shading the soil. So it's not all bad, but it might be stealing some of the nutrients from the plant. But it does have some new growth coming out of the middle, but it's just struggling. It's hard to find. It wants sun, but not too much sun. They're very sensitive, very picky. Here's the other pineapple. This is the OG. I did get a pineapple off of this after 4 years, which came out of the center. So it's got, this is the original plant. This is a new plant out of that. This is a new plant out of that. Once it gave up fruit, it started putting out pups. So this is a new one. This is a new one down inside. And if you look right there, there's another new one coming out. Another pup, which is crazy. I've never grown these before, being from Michigan and living in Kentucky. We couldn't grow these. So it's been a very interesting learning process. I'm gonna have to split all those up, put them in their own containers. And then I have another one here. This one's 2.5 years old. Had some struggle bus issues. But it seems to be doing okay now. There's some fresh growth down in the middle. So that's the patio. I got more crotons. I'm going to try to keep these over the winter. I love the leaves. I like the tropical look of them. They didn't do too bad over the winter. They were actually pretty easy to keep. Just keep them with some artificial light on them. They're tropical, so they need lots of light. Here's the other one. Yeah, it's doing good. This is a work in progress. This is all catnip in here. It was doing really well. I cut it back, and now it's kind of, the heat of summer's got to it. Rose of Sharon, blooming, doing really well. Took a while to get all the suckers under control, but now it's kind of staying in its lane, and it's doing really well. These ground covers are doing really well. I see they're blooming. The bumblebees love them. That's the perennial hibiscus. I don't have any blooms on them right now, but I see they're full of little buds. My cannas, these are accidental tourists. I did not plant these cannas. They popped up last year and I just let them grow, and then they came back. They doubled. The quantity doubled. I had to put a stake in here to hold them up. But my Weigela bushes here, Weigela, kind of have this purplish hue to the leaves, which, by the way, the cat likes more than the catnip. And I didn't know this, but it emits some scent that cats really love. But the cannas are crowding them out. So one of them's got to go. I either got to make room for more cannas right here, or take them out and give the bushes room to spread. And these Weigelas really struggled the first year or two. You can see there's some like dead growth, old limbs. They really struggled the first year or two out here, and I had to move them. Trying to find exactly where they were happy, and they seem to like it here on this hillside. So that'll be a project for next year. You can see there's brand new ones growing up, just starting. So it's spreading, it's dropping a lot of seeds, and there's more coming up every day. So I'm gonna have to move one of them. So fig tree, this is the OG fig. I think this is third year for it now, or fourth year maybe. It's got some, I don't know if you can see, some little baby figs, and it'll grow like a Brussels sprout, and where there's a leaf off the main trunk, where those come together, you'll get a fig. So this has got, every little spot's got a fig on it right now. So that's a good sign. There's some here that are a little bigger, and these are delicious. My hydrangeas look a little sad. Something has cut the tops off. Something I just noticed has eaten the leaves, cut the tops off. I'm gonna have to figure out what that is. It's starting to get heavy on the ends with the flowers, and they're bowing over. Might have to stake that up a little bit. All right, on my pots with my cannas, there's some pink cannas in them down on the rail. These were cannas from last year. I wasn't sure what colors they were, and they seem to be doing okay. They were slow to get going this year. You can see those are still just, I mean, I got water going to them. You can see the irrigation line. They're just slow to get going. They're full sun all day. Anyway, so my wisteria's got seed pods on it. I might actually, and I have another one down there kind of hidden that I'm using as a bonsai experiment. This one I was kind of grooming it, let it just run down the length of the deck, because it gets those long purple, like grape cluster looking flowers on them. They're really pretty. So we're just going to let that run down the side of the deck. I got some weeds in here, man. I really need to do some weeding. Lawnmowers, look at that. My yucca looks like it's split. That was one plant, but now I can see there's 3 individual plants in here now. So that's cool. The first year we put it in, and the concrete's really hot, I can't stand there. The first year we put it in, it got a big tall stalk and some beautiful white flowers on it, and nothing since. And it was kind of shrunk and looked a little pathetic. Well, now there's 3 of them I see on there. Another perennial hibiscus. It's got a nice pretty bloom on it. My mint looks pathetic. I didn't leave it where the rain could get to it while we were on vacation, and it's really struggling. But the good thing about mint is this stuff is like from another planet, and it doesn't take long and it'll bounce right back. We had some chimney work done. Our chimney was leaking, and the guys have really damaged my hostas. It's hard to find good help. Another foxtail, and my bay leaf plant. It looks like it's got some stuff from the concrete runoff from the roofers too. A fresh bay leaf. Escapes me right now the name of these flowers, but they've done really well out here. The local Mexican restaurant Gustavo's had these, and we planted them this year, and they've done just really good out here. The irrigation line in the back, Sherry, definitely a lifesaver. The other hibiscus, this is the red one. It's got some fresh growth along the stalk. I'm going to have to preen all that back and cut it back a little bit. And my popcorn plant. So I've had this 2 years. I cut the stalk back. It got about 10 feet last year. I kept it in the garage. I didn't water it or anything all winter hardly, maybe once or twice. Put it out this year and it's grown back. And what's cool about this, one, when you rub the leaves, it smells like buttered popcorn. I got this at the Starview Nursery. And it's so fragrant. I mean, it really smells like buttered popcorn. But this plant also has a symbiotic relationship with the ants. The ants find their way up here, and I guess this thing secretes some kind of juice that the ants love, and then they protect the plant. And since I've moved it, I don't see any ants on it right now, but it's kind of so doing okay right there. There's some more. Yeah, let me come back up here. You can see them a little better from the deck. Some more elephant ears. I did not plant these guys. They popped up last year. I left them, and they popped back up again this year, and they're doing pretty good in the ground. More bonus plants. Okay, so that's everything upstairs. Let's go down to the garden. Got a lot of weeding to do. Our maple tree we planted. This is I think it's called a fire maple. Gets really pretty red leaves in the fall. Of course, I had to autograph it to my wife and I. But we planted this thing, I don't know, it was probably 6-7 foot tall like 5 years ago. And it's massive now. It's got to be 40 feet. It's done really well in 5-6 years, maybe 7 years. Fig number 2, doing good, lots of new growth. Some irises out here. I got to do some more weeding. I use straw to insulate, to mulch my garden, and it threw out this little seedling. This was last year, and it spread all over the yard. It's horrible. I got it from Lowe's. Don't buy their straw. This grass has tried to take over the whole yard, and it's a daily battle. So my garden needs some TLC. We were, like I said, gone on vacation. I added some lights up top before we went. These are LED lights I got at Lowe's. There's the LED receiver. And there's 2 more down there. There's 3 strands, 3 10-foot strands go all the way around this thing. Just lights it up at night. You can come out here and adds a little something. You know, it doesn't have to all be utilitarian, I guess. Zucchini. It's bouncing back. It knocked over my pepper plant. I can see the peppers laying down there rotting and dying. I'm gonna have to stake that guy up. Yellow squash has spilled over the side of the retaining wall and is out in the yard, kind of like Mark Sherry, your guys' pumpkin patch in the back. I do have some young squash on there, so that's a good sign. It's definitely spilled over its boundary. Mint. Glad I pulled all that mint out up here. I had accidentally put some in the ground and it spread everywhere. I think I've got it all out now. These are all basil cuttings that I planted back here, and they're all doing really well. Cucumbers. We got 3 different species of cukes this year, and these long English cukes, which are really good in a salad, have done really good this year. These leeks that we planted seem to be doing well. I think we just put in half a dozen. There's some bonus asparagus I didn't plant that just popped up in the back. I'm leaving that to see what happens. So here's the second species of cucumber we put in. These don't get real big. They're like gherkin size. And once they get past like 3-4 inches, There's one there. Then they just grow out. They just get round. So that one's like ready to pick right now. And then this is the other cucumber plant that's in here. I don't see any cukes on it right now. I think we just picked them all. I'll scoot around back here. This is fig number 3. Also doing well back here. Because the first one did so well, I added the other 2 last year. And this is what I got this year. Our friend Dave made us that table. Big C on the front, and he's got our names welded into the framework. I thought that was pretty cool. Thank you, David. Compost. Doing well. Pepper plants. Not doing so well. There's a little pepper on there. I'm gonna have to get back out here this weekend. Once I'm off work because I got weeds everywhere. Rosemary. I've had that for 3 or 4 years now. I was trying to keep it in the house over the winters, and it struggles. It really struggled in the winter. It got like a white mildew on it. Everything I did just did not work. It barely survived. So I threw it in the ground, and it seems to be doing much better now. Perennial hibiscus. I think this one's a goner. I had it in here last year, did really good. It had some green growth on it this spring, but it looks like it died. Pawpaw, planted this year, or passion flower rather. That's doing really good. It's grown crazy. Let's go inside the garden. This is I still have to fix all of this where the dirt washed down in here. This is still a mess. Pulled all the onions and garlic, and now the weeds have taken over this island. It's got to get all rebuilt. It's the old cedar board, and I'm switching everything over to the treated lumber with the metal. So I have a mix of passion flower and tomato going on here with some basil in the background. Need to pinch all this off. And oh, I love basil. Peppers seem to be surviving. There's some sweet potato slips from Sherry and Mark. My nasturtiums, dead. More basil going to bloom. Pollinators are loving it. More slips. I got some sweet potato slips. I got some bugs obviously out here chewing on them. I don't know what they are. Last time I had problems, it was caterpillars, but I'll have to come out here and see there's small little black dots all over it. Got some chives. This tomato plant, nope. Nasturtium was not a year for nasturtiums. Last year they did phenomenal. This year, all dead. Another sweet potato slip. My dill is at the end of the season. More sweet potato. More basil. This cherry tomato's doing okay. Normally my tomatoes by now are 10 feet tall, and this one's just getting to about 8. It's got one run up the fence here that's at about 8. Normally by this year they're huge, but I planted really late this year because I had to rebuild the whole garden. More basil. This nasturtium, trying to hang on. I think it's getting a little bit of shade. I think it got too much sun. They like a little sun, but not too much. And I think I fried them out here. Another basil. And another tomato. All my seedlings died this year. I had to start over with box store plants. Tomato, sweet potato slip. Another dill. It's dead. Dying. So yeah, that's the garden. That's the status. I can upload this now to YouTube and give something for Mark to give me hell about. We planted these a couple years ago. I thought they were going to die. The red bud and the name escapes me right now. This is a local Kentucky tree I don't have back home in Michigan. but it's doing really well. Obviously the white variant, it comes in a couple different colors. I see them all over the roads and the highways, but some new growth I'm gonna have to trim back. The red buds all pretty much died. I had a third one and I had to pull it out. It completely died, but these two bounced back and are doing really well this year. They're full of blossoms and berries. So that's cool. It's good to see that. I got a big open space here. I've been trying to come up with a plan to fill this in on either side here. There's a space there and space here that needs some plants. And last but not least, our green giant arborvitae we planted. We put these in as a border. This is before we replaced the fence. We put this in. There's Kitty. And they have done better than expected. They're 30, 40 feet tall now and made a nice privacy wall. This whole area was full of, what's the name of those thorny trees that you have down here in Kentucky? The black locust. This whole area was full of black locust down there. The garden, my garden was constantly invaded by the roots of them. They were all down there where that fence is. We had like 9 or 10 trees cut out and removed. What? Why are you whining? Yeah? You hungry? Come on, fat ass. So we cut all those out, and for 4 years the dying root system kept putting up little plants, little runners trying to regrow, and I had to pick them every day out here in the yard. I'd get 40 or 50 a week, and it looks like they've pretty much died now, died back enough. So yeah, that's everything. Thanks for watching, and until next time.